Tuesday, July 1st, 2025, and it is Canada Day. So, happy Canada Day to everybody out there in Canada. And what am I doing today besides driving in a car? Well, I am going to the dacha, and it's going to be a hot day. So, I'm not really going to be doing too much work, but I am going to take the covers off the grass that I planted, because 1 week ago today, last Tuesday, I planted the grass, and after 1 week it's time to remove the tarps and the fabric that I had covered on the grass. Anyways, I'll show you a little bit of the road as we're driving to the dacha, and put on your seat belts. Let's go for a ride to the dacha. So while we are sitting here in the traffic jam, I want to show you my vehicle. I have a Chinese vehicle. It is a Cherry. That's the brand. It's a Cherry Tiggo Pro Max car. All electronic. It speaks to you. You can ask it a question and it'll answer it. But it is really dumb. Let's see if it works. Hello, Cherry.
Here.
Cherry, what city are we in right now?
Sorry, I haven't mastered this skill.
There you go. Cherry, can you tell me something interesting?
I am currently loading. Please wait a moment.
Loading what? See, there you go. It doesn't know anything. Cherry, what street are we on? Hello, Cherry.
Please continue.
What street are we on right now?
Sorry, I haven't mastered this skill.
Okay, so this thing is really stupid. You can ask it any question and it just says, I don't know. Anyways, I guess when you program, I changed the program from Russian to English, and I guess the English input into the computer has not been set up, I guess. All right, there's...
Sorry, this question is beyond my ability.
Okay, Cherry, goodbye. That is the new arena right there. That's called the Yurifei Arena. It's huge, and that's usually they have big events. That's the biggest venue here in Khabarovsk. As we make our way out of the city, there is still a lot of construction, even at the south end. It's not only in the north side of Khabarovsk, it's also on the south side and even in the center. And there's an apartment complex right there with 3 cranes. And it's actually going up very, very quickly. They started breaking ground probably in April. And here we are July 1st. And that's the smallest one right there. That's like on the 4th floor. And the other ones are probably on the 6th. So this is more of the industrial area. There's a Caterpillar dealership just right past this construction zone. So, you know, in case anybody is thinking, Caterpillar, the brand of excavators and, you know, heavy equipment, if they think it's not being sold here in Russia, well, they're wrong. It's still here. Okay, so as we start driving here, what do we got? Well, on the right side over here, there are Chinese car dealerships that are opening up, more than one. So there's in the northern district and in the southern district. And which ones are here? I think it's Geely. Yeah, there's Geely right there. On this side on the left, that is where the Caterpillars are sold. You could just barely see it through the trees. There they are. And the 10 brand of heavy equipment also. And I saw a Shensui. So I also saw Japanese. So I guess it's Caterpillar, so they got the Chinese, Japanese, and American brands of heavy equipment that are sold here. And we're going to be coming up to here on the left. Oh, there's a excavator, JCB. Largest Toyota dealership here in Khabarovsk. There it is. And right beside it, the Lexus dealership. And just a little bit further down the road, there is a Tank. Yeah, an actual brand is called Tank, Chinese brand. And Haval. And we're coming up to them. On the left side over here, there it is. Tank and Haval. Get a better look. There it is. I'm not actually even looking at the phone. I'm looking straight forward and just moving the phone around. And as we start heading out of town, this little yellow and green box here, they are selling kvass. And kvass is a type of a drink that's made out of bread. So it's actually pretty good. It's refreshing, non-alcoholic, even though it is fermented, but non-alcoholic. It tastes really good. So yeah, outside the city, you see these little stands on the side of the road. And usually they hire teenagers, and you could just stop by and get a refreshing drink. All right, I don't know why these guys are passing here. It goes into a single lane right here, but they're just still pushing. Oh well. We'll all get there. Just take your time. And these are the last apartments at on the Southern District here. So this is the edge of town. So as soon as you pass this set of lights, you are officially out of the city. There it is. And there's an old factory over here on the left. I don't know what it was many years ago, but now it is a dry kiln for drying lumber. This little Prius on the right, they do air conditioning recharge. And in the wintertime, that same guy, he sells windshield washer. And here's the old factory. And it has a lot of dry kilns that were set up, and they dry lumber. So yeah, it's been repurposed. Whatever the factory was in the past, well, no longer exists, but they dry lumber now. And here's another thing that I don't understand. Everybody always slows down at the train tracks. Okay, so everybody crawls, like we say in Russian, как мухи, you know, как черепаха, like turtles. Yet, as soon as they pass, they end up speeding up, and in some places the road is even worse. Like we just passed the train tracks, it's not even bumpy, but they slow down to like 2 miles an hour, and then they speed up again to 45 miles an hour. Why not just keep the same speed? It's just as smooth as on either side of the tracks as it is in the middle of the tracks. Oh well. Here's a city bus. It's a small one. It services the outskirts. Here's a kid selling kvass. There it is. I wonder how much he makes in a day. I guess it's worth it if he's there all the time. So if he wasn't making any money, he'd probably quit. So I guess he is making enough that keeps him coming back and setting up that stand in that spot. All right, there's a NNK gas station over there. What is the price of gas? 92 octane is 60 rubles 26 kopecks per liter, and diesel is 75 rubles 31 kopecks per liter. But the gas that I use the 95 octane in our vehicle, and it is 62 rubles 88 kopecks per liter. Oh, here's a backhoe. Okay, just similar to the kind of backhoe that I have in Canada. I have a Case 580 Super M 2009 model, and this one, I don't know, it looks like a JCB maybe. Oh, here's a little short minibus. And what kind is this? Is this a Chinese? Yeah, some sort of Lugong. Never heard of it. Chinese. All right, and there's the bigger buses. So yeah, even if you live out here in the outskirts, public transportation is readily available. And there's the gas station. An interesting thing about the gas stations is that the way it works is a little bit different than what we have in Canada. So when you come to the gas station, you put your fuel nozzle into your vehicle, then you go and you pay, and then you start filling up. I don't know. Whereas in Canada, you can park. Usually you would walk into the gas station and you would pay for whatever the fuel that you got, and then you drive away. Whereas here, you actually have to put the nozzle into the car before you walk inside and start paying. Just thought I'd let you guys know about the different system that they have when it comes to fueling up a vehicle. I always drive by this chimney right here and have absolutely no idea what it is or what it was, if it still works or not. I don't know. It's just a chimney in the middle of nowhere. Oh well. Guess I'll never know, or maybe I'll have to hunt around and ask people, show them this video of this little clip that I took and ask them, do you guys know what it is? I don't know. Maybe they'll tell me. Here are some nice houses. So on the outskirts of Khabarovsk, and they're even building some right there. Yeah, huge houses are being built. So it's not only apartments. Some people choose to live out in the countryside. Now we're only 5 minutes away from the city, and I guess when you got more room, I guess you can build the house as big as you want. Yeah, all right. So we're gonna make a right turn here, and the road gets much better. So this is just one of the ways to get to our dacha. See, it says right there, Vladivostok. So everybody refers to Vladivostok as Vladik. So where are we going right now? We're going to Vladik. Well, we're not gonna go there because it's 740 kilometers southeast of Khabarovsk. Okay, but it's a very nice road. Not too many cars on it. That's a cool thing. So when you're driving on here, you feel like the king of the world. One or two vehicles you meet up with, and you're like, oh my God, they spent so many millions of dollars on a road that isn't heavily used. But maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe they're expecting a lot of people to move here to the Russian Far East, so they're building up this infrastructure. I mean, there's no shortage of land. I mean, you look at this and look at that. There's just lots of nothing. Nothing. Believe it or not, Khabarovsk does have a ski hill right on that mountain. I don't know if you can see in the screen. Looks like a cutout of trees, but at nighttime, you can really see it. They have night skiing. So yeah, you can actually go skiing here in Khabarovsk, even though they call them mountains. I call them hills. They're more like sopki. That's about the only thing that I miss about where I live in Canada. We actually have mountains, and here it's more like rolling hills. And I am the only one. Nope, there's one vehicle about a kilometer away from me. There's nobody on this road. It's like my road. And of course, birch trees. It's not the Russian Far East, unless you got the birch trees, and millions and millions and millions of birch trees on either side of the road, no matter which direction you go from Khabarovsk. Of course, there are the fir trees, and there are larch. So fir is yolka and larch is lisnivitsa. But biroza, birch, birch, birch everywhere. Oh, there's a transport truck. Okay, there are 3 of us on the road. Oh, and somebody else. 4 of us. Oh, catching up to this guy. He's like a ulitka, like a snail. And, well, he's carrying some stuff. Looks like a contractor of some sort. No, it looks like somebody is moving. Yeah, they got the boxes all packed up. Man, if they were going to Vladivostok, it's going to take them like 2 days. What's the speed that I'm going right now? I'm doing 117 kilometers an hour, and they are probably doing 70. So yeah. So here it is. This is the quickest way to our dacha. You don't see any houses or anything. It saves about maybe 15 minutes of drive time instead of driving through a small community called Sosnovka. So you kind of bypass it, and it's on the left side. It's up over the mountain over there. So we're gonna get to this clover leaf over here. There it says Sosnovka turnoff. If we keep going straight, yeah, we'll end up in Vladivostok, the Pacific Ocean, in about 7 hours, but nope, not about to do that. We are taking this exit right here. There it is. And we're gonna do this turn. We can go back to Khabarovsk. It's only 10 kilometers, so we're not that far away. All right, so we get back on this road right here, and we got to drive about 1 kilometer to our turnoff at the dacha. And it says Sosnovka and Khabarovsk, both 10 kilometers away, depending on which way you go. Okay, believe it or not, there are city buses that use this road, and you know, it looks like we're in the middle of nowhere, but in fact, no, we are not. Check this out. Here's a bus stop. There it is. And our turnoff is at the end of this stretch to the right. Teenagers right here doing burnouts. Father's tires there, burning rubber. Yeah, looks like Father's going to be buying more tires. Okay, here we are doing a turnoff, and right at the entrance over here, they're usually, I call them stands, Uzbek, Tajiks, I don't know, Kyrgyz. They are usually sitting here and advertising. Do you need any help? We have laborers, day labor. That's usually what it is. Or they give out cards, so if you want gravel or you want garbage removal, they will do all that. And then they sit there all day. And every time you drive by, except today, Murphy's Law, didn't happen. Usually they jump out of their vehicles, or they're sitting in their vehicle, and they just put their hand out to kind of say, we're here if you need any help. So check this out. They put bricks into the potholes. The road is really bad. I don't know why they're not fixing it. It's got to get paved, or at least fix these potholes. But people are, I guess, disappointed at the highway system here. So what are they doing? They're putting bricks into the holes. There we go. This area is growing. There's a new little store, little country style store that just opened up. It's right here, called Produkte. Okay, so let's check it out. Here it is. Looks like a house. Maybe the people live upstairs. I don't know, I just find it interesting that they only give it a name, product. You know, there's no like Misha's product or хороший настоящий product. No, they just one word, product, meaning products. I don't know. It's very common for stores just to say one word, what they're called. You know, in this case, product. All right. Right here is a huge problem. I don't know if you could see this, but there's a pipe under the road, and instead of digging it out and replacing it, you know, they keep it as a speed bump. Yeah. Lots of potholes here, so you got to keep your eyes on the road, and it's like playing that driving game, you know. You get minus points every time you drive through a pothole. So you're weaving side to side. Oh well. Makes it for a more interesting drive. And there is a city bus service here. So, you know, even if people don't have vehicles, like a lot of the older people, it's possible to get to this place on a city bus. Here's one. Bus number 110. Okay. And we get to the edge of the paved road here. Almost there. Now, when there are some really, really big holes, what do? They put a tire into the hole. Like right here. Check this out. There's... Oh, did they fill it in? They filled it in with some rocks. Alright, here we are. This is the bus turnaround. There's also another little store right here. You know, maленький магазинчик. I mean, you can't even really tell that it's a store. But everybody knows it's a store. You got your basics there. You know, whatever you need for your dacha. And then from here on all the way to our place, you're on a gravel road. So we still got about, I don't know, half a kilometer, maybe 3/4 of a kilometer to go. And what kind of houses do they have here? Well, here's your typical dacha style house. And there are old ones, there are new ones. Here's some old ones. This one right here was purchased by a young couple in the springtime. We actually saw when there was a sign, a for sale sign, and the next time we drove by, the young couple was there cleaning it out. And then you got these kind that are very, very nice. I don't know if you can see. Very nice styling. So yeah, all kinds. And of course, if you want to buy a dacha, well, right there, Pradam Dacha. People are selling, and people looking for dachas, and people advertising everything from we'll take your trash away to we have excavator work available, and then of course bulletin boards. There's some nice houses, nice roofs. And then there's these guys over here. Every year, well, it's the 3rd year that we own our apartments, our dacha, so we're always driving past here. And these guys put up little puppets and stuff. So they always got a snake. They got the Raggedy Ann. They got some old man. And of course, the partisan. Check that out. Partisan. Even got a little machine gun or some sort of laser shooter. All right. Continuing on. Almost at our dacha. More older houses here. You know, like I said earlier, you got the old and you got the new. Here's newer. Here's somebody who's taken their time. They're going to be built. Oh, they already got the boards up. Okay, so they're going to be building soon. Something like that. Oh yeah, there's a worker actually working on it right now. So just laying the floor. There's a small little yurt. And this is the drainage. So this used to be a road, to drive up, but it looks like now it's been turned into a pathway and just water drainage. This fence was actually put up on Sunday right here. So somebody bought, it's actually a middle-aged couple. This lot was for sale, and whoever bought it, first things first, build a fence. So they built a fence. All right, we're almost there. I'm tired of holding my phone side to side. You guys are probably getting like motion sickness. So I'm gonna stop here and I'll see you guys again once we arrive at the dacha. Okay, we arrived at the dacha. There it is. And let's go take a look at the grass, and let's take off all that fabric that I had laid over it 1 week ago as soon as I seeded the section that I filled in on the drainage. So let's go check that out. Here it is after 1 week, and you got the grass that's coming through all the little holes. So I gotta pick up the rebar, and I gotta then lift all this tarps off. This one only has a few grass shoots that are coming through. I wonder how much grass is underneath, whereas this one right here, very porous. Check that out. All right, so let's pick up the rebar and let's pick up the fabric. So we got to pick all this up and all the way down to there and all that right over there. So got the tachka, the wheelbarrow for the rebar. All right, let's go to work. Okay, let's slowly lift. And how does it look? Move it over to the side. Let's get this right here. Lift it up. Don't want to pull the grass out. Slowly. And there it is. There's still little shoots there, so that's what it looks like. Now this is 1 week of growth, and this line right here is 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago today, that was planted, and 1 week ago today, this was planted. So next week, this line is gonna look like that. All right, let's hurry up and pick everything up and get out of here then and go back to Khabarovsk. Okay, so I've removed about half of this, and I placed the rebar in here just to indicate that this is still a no walk zone. And I am taking the rebar and this fabric over there and setting it down, because there's an area that I still need to plant with the grass. So let's go and move this. So this area right here where the old greenhouse was, half of it is planted with grass, and I still got to get all the soil flattened out, and I got to remove the bordura, or part of the frame, and then plant the grass. So I figured I will have my tarps and the fabric and the rebar over here, so that when I start on the job, I don't have to go searching for all my material. It's all here. All right, let's dump this off and let's go do the rest of the work. Everything now has been removed. Now let's check this section over here. So we got the fabric with the metal on it. So let's remove the metal, take the fabric off, and let's see what it looks like underneath. Is it green? I don't know. Usually from past experience is you will get some bald patches here and there, but they will all grow in within a week or so. Anyways, let's take everything off and let's see what it looks like underneath. There it is. This is what it looks like after 1 week. So yeah, I got a few weeds that are growing faster than the grass, but I don't care. It will end up looking like this. This was last year. This right here is 2 weeks ago. I had it planted, And yeah, it's nice and lush. A few weeds. I guess I'll have to pull them out, especially those right there. I don't like those ones. And next week, this will be much, much greener. There it is, all done. Well, it's that time. I got to get going home. And just too hot to work today. The humidity level is high. So I just want to say thank you for coming along for a ride. And what else did we do? Oh, the grass part there. Took all the fabric off, took the rebar away, and the grass is gonna start growing pretty nicely in that area that was filled in. All right, I gotta go. Take care. Smash the like button if you like the video. Leave a positive comment. Comments are always welcome. Nothing nasty. And it's always free to subscribe. So if you're interested in following along and you want to know when I upload the next video, usually 2-3 times a week, hit that little bell so it'll ring, ding, 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 when I put up another video. All right, I gotta go. Until next time, paka pakai.